The Water Experiment, What Your Words Are Doing to Your Body, written by Dr. James Ojjeh. Welcome to the Divine Frequency. Today, we are going to explore one of the most fascinating experiments in the history of consciousness research. An experiment so simple in its design, yet so profound in its implications, that once you understand it, you will never speak to yourself the same way again. It is called the Water Experiment, and it reveals something extraordinary about the relationship between your words, your intentions, and the physical structure of the world around you. What if the words you speak are not just sounds that dissolve into the air? What if they carry weight? What if they carry frequency? What if they land, not only on the ears of others, but on the cells of your own body, shaping you from the inside? With every sentence you repeat, what if the most powerful conversation you will ever have is the one you are having with yourself? Right now, the experiment that changed everything. In the 1990s, a Japanese researcher named Dr. Masaru Emoto conducted a series of experiments that would challenge the way we think about consciousness, intention, and the physical world. His method was remarkably simple. He exposed samples of water to different stimuli, words, music, prayers, and intentions, then froze the water and examined the resulting ice crystals under a microscope. What he found was astonishing. Water that had been exposed to words like love, gratitude, and thank you formed crystals that were breathtakingly beautiful, symmetrical, intricate, radiant, like snowflakes designed by an artist who understood sacred geometry. But water that had been exposed to words like "I hate you," "You disgust me," or "You are worthless" formed crystals that were fragmented, chaotic, and distorted, as though the water itself had recoiled from the frequency of the words. The same pattern emerged with music. Water exposed to classical music and gentle melodies formed harmonious, organized structures. Water exposed to aggressive, chaotic music formed broken, disordered patterns. And perhaps most remarkably, the intention behind the words mattered as much as the words themselves. Water that was prayed over, meditated upon, or held with loving intention produced some of the most beautiful crystals of all. Now, you might ask, why does this matter? Water is just water. What does this have to do with me? The answer is in your body. You are mostly water. The human body is approximately 70% water. Your blood, your organs, your muscles, your brain, they are all saturated with water at the molecular level. This means that every word you speak, every thought you sustain, every emotional frequency you carry is not just passing through you. It is interacting with the very medium your body is made of. If water responds to words and intentions with measurable structural changes, and your body is predominantly water, then the words you speak to yourself are not just psychological events. They are physical ones. When you say, "I am tired," "I am broken," "I am not good enough," you are not merely expressing a feeling. You are sending a frequency into the water of your body, into your cells, into your blood, into the molecular fabric of your being. And if Emoto's research is any indication, that frequency is shaping the inner environment where your health, your emotions, and your vitality either flourish or deteriorate. And when you say, "I am healing," "I am worthy," "I am grateful to be alive," you are sending a different signal entirely. A signal of coherence, of order, of beauty. And your body receives it at every level. This is not wishful thinking. This is the intersection of consciousness and biology, and it has implications that go far beyond a laboratory. The science of your inner dialogue. Your cells are always listening. Every word you speak to yourself, whether aloud or in the quiet theater of your mind, is received by your subconscious as information. It does not evaluate whether the statement is true or false, kind or cruel, empowering or diminishing. It simply records it and begins to organize your perception, your behavior, and your emotional state around it. Neuroscience confirms this. The subconscious mind, which operates below the threshold of conscious awareness, processes the vast majority of your daily experience. It runs your habits, your emotional reactions, your physical responses, and even the way your immune system functions. And it responds to the language you use. The two most powerful words in any language are I am. Whatever follows those words becomes an instruction to your subconscious mind. Not a suggestion, an instruction. When you say I am stupid, your subconscious does not weigh the evidence. It accepts the command and begins to organize your reality around it. When you say I am learning, your mind opens to growth. When you say I am healing, your body listens. When you say I am worthy of peace, your nervous system begins to soften. This is the bridge between Emoto's water experiment and your daily life. The words you repeat are not empty. They are frequencies, they are instructions, and they are shaping the water of your body, the chemistry of your cells, and the architecture of your inner world with every repetition. The invitation. So I invite you to consider something today, not as an intellectual exercise, but as a practice. For the rest of this day, notice how you speak to yourself. Not just the big moments, the small ones, the quiet muttering when you make a mistake, the internal narration when you look in the mirror, the story you tell yourself when something does not go as planned. And when you catch a word or a thought that you would never speak to someone you love, pause, take a breath, and choose again. You do not have to change everything at once, but you can change one sentence, one thought, one I am statement. And in doing so, you begin to shift the frequency of the water inside you, the water that carries your blood, the water that surrounds your cells, the water that is listening, right now, to every word you choose. Speak to yourself as though your body is sacred, because it is. Your words are not just sounds, they are frequencies. They are instructions, they are seeds, planted in the water of your being, growing into the garden of your lived experience. So plant wisely, plant with love, plant with the reverence of someone who understands that every syllable is shaping the world within, because the most powerful experiment you will ever conduct is not in a laboratory. It is in the silence, between your thoughts. It is in the words you choose to speak when no one else is listening. Your body is listening. Your cells are listening. The water inside you is listening, and it is ready to form something beautiful if you will give it, something beautiful to work with. If this episode opened your awareness to the power of your own words, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to stay connected as we continue to explore the science and soul of human potential. For more on how your inner dialogue shapes your biology and your reality, explore the books by Dr. James Ojjeh, The Secret of Happiness, The Relationship Mirror, You Were Never Broken, and the upcoming Forgiveness is Freedom. All available or coming soon on Amazon. Stay rooted in your truth. Stay in your light. And stay with us as we continue to awaken, to heal, and to live fully in the divine frequency.